All right, everybody, welcome back to Module 6, Video 2, Plan with Your Period. Now, this may sound kind of crazy or weird or counterintuitive. It definitely felt strange when I first heard about it, but this little demonstration actually shows our brain during the menstrual cycle. And so this shows how things are going on for us. So when we look at here is the whole over the entire month. This shows some different feelings and activities that may be going on. And then here is that hormonal graph up at the top. So when we look down here, when we look at our period, we're going to see that we may have better spatial skills and maybe even some more anxiety during the beginning part of our cycle. Then as we move into the follicular phase, improved imagination, perception, memory, and social abilities. Then around ovulation, we are going to have that increased libido. This can really have some positives and negatives for us, as we're going to see with the planning portion. And then during the follicular phase, we feel more calm, but we also may feel a little bit more detail oriented, right? And so our brains are changing as we are moving throughout the menstrual cycle. And our hormones impact our moods, our energy, and our physiology. So it only makes sense that we start to actually adapt what we do and begin to plan with the phases. So we want to make that super easy for you all to start implementing in your own life. And if you're coming to this course the first time, one of the things I really recommend people do is spend the first couple of months taking good notes, actually tracking your cycle, understanding your baseline, and from there you can get a little bit more crafty with it. So this could be something like a planner with the Agenda Period app, wherever you'd like to take notes, but actually tracking and understanding your own baseline of data as you move throughout the cycle is a really great step. So during the menstrual phase, and if you do not have a cycle, we're actually going to talk about the moon phases as well. So reasons you might not have a cycle right now, you maybe are in perimenopause or menopause. Maybe you have a free range cycle, so you're not really sure how to pin it down, or you may be pregnant or in the postpartum period. So these would be good reasons for why you may want to tap into the phases of the moon. So the menstrual phase lines up with the new moon phase. So things to focus on for work and for your schedule, actually getting into the planning, is sitting down and doing that planning. Now, I don't mean going out and making calls. I don't mean getting intense, because you've already learned in this course that we're going to feel a little bit more introverted during this time of the month. I mean planning as in plotting things out, looking at your calendar, making good notes for yourself. This could be a good time to analyze things from the month before. You could have some ideas to improve your role, whether that is in your own business or at work, tuning into your intuition, writing, creating that vision for the month, and letting go of things that did not serve you from the month before. The next phase is the follicular phase. This is around the waxing moon, so when the moon is getting bigger in the sky, and again, our internal springtime. So this is a great time to jump into new things, begin to map out your ideas and actually put them into practice. So it's a good time to network, to have meetings, to do brainstorms. One of the things I personally really love to do, and what I worked on when I wrote my book last year, was I had a section of interviews, and I conducted all of the interviews during the follicular phase. I am much more chatty. I love connecting with people. I'm more social during the follicular phase. So I intentionally planned it that way. I did my solitary writing during the luteal phase, and I did my outward social connection during the follicular phase. And those engagements just went better. They ran more smoothly because I was using my body's natural energy to my advantage. And that is the power here behind working and planning with the cycle. During the next phase, our ovulation phase, this is the full moon time. And for work activities, this could be a great time to do public speaking, recording videos, doing a sales call, meetings, job interviews, asking for a raise, raising your prices, taking dating pictures for a profile, recording podcasts, things of that nature. We tend to have our faces look the most symmetrical during this phase. We feel confident, we can feel in our ovulation flow. So really starting to tune into those pieces for your own advantage. And again, this is a short phase, so be careful not to burn out or feel like you must do something just because you're in that phase. The great thing about cyclical awareness is knowing hey, I missed the boat on it this time. I'm coming back around to that idea over the next cycle. Oh, I know we've got another ovulation cycle coming up. Oh, we've got another luteal phase coming up. Trusting that these things are going to unfold in the right way for you. And it really gives us a lot of practice at doing that when we work with the 4 phases of the cycle. Then the next phase in our final phase is the luteal phase, so the waning moon. So this is when the moon is coming back down in the sky. So work-wise, how we actually start to tap into this is doing some more of those small details, the administrative tasks, maybe a good time for accounting, scheduling, decluttering. You may find that there's this time right around day 24, 25, where you're like, oh man, I've got to get to that closet. I need to clear everything out. It's time to do that. It's funny that we call it spring cleaning, because we should really call it the luteal cleaning, right? There's this time in our month where those things just feel easier. So when you begin to plan like this, you don't have to feel stressed out in the other phases. You know, okay, I'm just going to naturally get to that during the luteal phase. No big deal. I'm going to spend some time organizing paperwork, and then really maybe wrapping things up, getting all those loose ends tied up. So those are great ways that you can work with every single phase of your cycle. So we are going to get a little bit deeper into this in our final video. So we will see you over there next.